Hello and welcome to ITE130. I'm your instructor, Tom Feist. I'm going to orient you to the class, and we'll go over some of the finer points of the syllabus here in this introduction video. The first thing I want to do is kind of give you an orientation of what our course looks like inside Blackboard. Some of the major areas are the announcements page, which is also functions as the course's homepage, and it should default to that screen when you enter the course. The course information contains a little bit of information about me, but more importantly, and how you can contact me, but it has these great documents in it, the syllabus and the outline. You are going to want to go ahead and print both of these off, especially the outline. You're going to want to keep that one really close at hand because that has all the due dates for all of the assignments, and it also gives you a very clear checklist of exactly what is due on which weeks. And which days, so you'll want to print both of those off, but in particular you'll want to keep the outline close at hand. Let's see, we'll go to getting started. This is where you will get started in the course, and it goes over basically some of the things I'm going over with you right now, but gives you a little bit more information about those things. Learning units. Learning units is essentially where all of the course materials are stored. They're organized in folders, and the weeks in which we do certain units don't necessarily correspond to the weeks that are in the course. For example, we'll do Unit 0 in Week 1. So you'll want to refer to the course outline because I use, depending on how many weeks this semester is, we do units in different weeks. So you'll want to check your course outline for what weeks we do what assignments. Something new this semester is this participation quizzes, and we won't see any here right now because they appear for a very short duration. You'll want to check the course outline, and it clearly marks the weeks where there are participation quizzes. And essentially, these things are ridiculously simple one-question quizzes. I think one of them is, what color is an orange? And you need to select the correct answer from a multiple choice list, among which orange is one of your choices. They're not designed at all to be academically challenging. They are designed to encourage you to participate regularly and interact regularly with the course. They are available during weeks when they are available. They are available for Sunday and Monday only. Okay, weeks in this course run Sunday to Saturday. So units start on Sunday and they run all the way through to that next Saturday. So Sunday is actually the first day of our new unit. And so the participation quizzes in the weeks where they are available, they will appear on Sunday, and they will stay there for Sunday, and Monday they disappear at 11:59 p.m. So they are worth 1 point, and there are 12 of them throughout the course of the semester. So in the grand scheme of things, they don't really add up to a whole bunch of points, but they are free points. So you'll want to make sure you grab as many of those as you can. Let's see, blogs. Blogs are a certain kind of activity that we'll do when we either need to include pictures. Like this year, instead of using the discussion board to do introductions, which just about every other instructor I've ever seen does, we're going to use blogs because I want you to include a photograph of yourself so that we can all kind of get a visual reference as to who we are and who we're talking to when we're talking with individuals in the course. And then, so yeah, we'll use the blogs a couple of times through the semester. Let's see, and let's cover discussion forums. Discussion forums are listed out for you here. The due dates are listed in the description. There is an HTML forum, which is your first step for trying to get help with your web projects. I want you all to interact with each other and learn and teach each other in this forum because there are a lot of you, and it can be exceedingly difficult for me to give one-on-one assistance to everybody, but sometimes you may know the answer to someone else's question. So I'm going to encourage you to use that one there to interact with each other about the HTML projects. Okay, otherwise the topics are listed here along the, you can click to go into, for example, Unit 10, and these forums are all linked from learning units. So if we go into learning units and we look at like Unit 1, down at the bottom of Unit 1 there's a link to Unit 1 topics, and that goes to the discussion boards for Unit 1. So all of these things are kind of interlinked to one another. The links on the side are just kind of there for convenience. This semester we'll use voice boards, and the voice boards, I'm not going to even joke about it, they are going to require you to do some configuration on your browser. More information on that to come, but in my own trials, Chrome was the most problematic to set up, and actually Internet Explorer was the least. So, but in any event, we're going to do a few different voice boards where instead of using a discussion board, I want you to organize your thoughts into, an outline, and then you're going to record yourself. You're going to talk to me and record your answer. Something kind of different. I mean, I'm tired of grading all this writing, and I really want to try to make this course super interactive. So we're going to use the voice boards, but like I said, no joke, you are definitely going to have to set something up in your browser in order to enable the voice boards. So that's why there's a test one up here. We do the test in, is it Unit? Let's see. Well, it won't matter because whatever semester you happen to be in, check your course outline, because the week before we do the Unit 4, we're gonna do the voice board test. So yeah, kind of a different thing I'm doing this semester. Also a different thing I'm doing this semester is the virtual office. We'll have virtual office sessions throughout the semester. The sessions are open to all of my classes, so it might even be some IT students and some business students, but you can come to the office hours, and essentially this lets you, through Blackboard, chat with me. And I mean, if we both have webcams, then we could even see each other. I mean, it's really kind of a neat interactive tool, and I'm giving it a whirl this semester for the first time. Your My Grades section is where you can see everything that you've submitted and what is still pending as far as grading. I'm going to try to do my best as far as keeping up with grading this semester, but I have like 90 students this fall, so it's going to be kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm going to do my super best to try to keep up with all of it. Miscellaneous is actually the next thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about. It shows you how to resize an image. Okay, resizing an image is going to be important because you'll include an image along with your blog post for your introductory statement. So for your intro blog, the introduction blog includes a photograph of you, and the miscellaneous links include some videos and some instructions on how to do it, how to resize a photo in Paint with Windows 7 and with Macintosh. Okay, alright, so let's pull the syllabus over here real quick. Let's take a look at some of the finer points of the syllabus. Essentially, my email address is here, tmf22@email.vccs.edu. Basically, what you need to know about me as an instructor is if you email me, you're going to hear back from me unless I'm sleeping or dead. So expect that it's going to be a little bit different as far as communicating, because I will communicate with you. If you talk to me, I'll talk to you. But I also put that with a caveat because I have an awful lot of students, so I'm gonna do my darndest. But email does not ever go ignored, so that is my preferred contact method. I have an office in the Learning Technologies suite at the Green District Administration Building, which is on TCC's Norfolk campus. If you can make it there in face-to-face, and you really just need some help, and you want to just, I love meeting my students, so feel free, but appointment is absolutely required, because I would hate for you to travel from wherever you're traveling from and I'm sick that day, or I'm at a meeting and I'm not in the office and you show up. So you got to let me know you're coming. If you're going to come see me in face to face, I have no problem with it, but I just need you to let me know that ahead of time. Aside from that, we will do like the virtual office hours like we were talking about earlier, where we looked at inside Blackboard, and then but if you come to see me, I'm going to try to limit the appointment to about 30 minutes, because I would be seeing you on my lunch hour, so it really needs to be sort of quick. I mean, we'll have it take as long as it needs to, but in any event, here we go. Some of the things we'll talk about in this course. We take an introduction to the World Wide Web, and we talk about web browsers and email. How does email work? Internet service providers and the different types of internet connections that are out there, how to search web, and how to evaluate information resources on the web. We're going to cover downloading and storing data. We're going to talk about various methods of communication on the internet, securing and enhancing the use of the internet, so keeping yourself safe on the internet and your devices. We talk about web portals and electronic commerce. We develop a basic web page. Yeah, let me say that one again. We develop a basic web page. We are going to program in this course. So, that's kind of a word to the wise, I guess, is this course is definitely going to challenge some of you, because you may not be familiar with programming. But we will definitely be programming a web page, a very basic one. And that's where we get into this XHTML, tags and attributes, hypertext links, tables, and uploading pages with FTP. I mean, this class does have a technical element to it, so just be prepared. Required materials for the class. First of all, you're taking this class online, so you definitely need a reliable internet connection and regular access to a reliable computer. Okay, student email access checked daily. Yeah, if you check daily, that's fine. Probably frequently would be, communication will often come in the form of email, so just be aware of that. And then I want you to have alternate computer and or internet access. You need a technology backup plan. Again, you're taking this course online, so don't think that your computer waits for it to be convenient for it to break down on you, because it will wait until it is not convenient and it will break down. So everybody needs to have a technology backup plan, and that's actually part of your first unit's assignment, is to identify for me what your backup plan is. I recommend that you get a USB flash drive. I recommend, if you're going to be watching, there's a ton of video resources in this class, a ton. If you are going to be watching these videos at work, you might want some headphones, because it will just make it easier for you to listen to them at work or in a public spot, or if like a computer lab. Okay, the other thing I recommend is a Bluetooth keyboard. An increasing number of you are using your phones to interact with Blackboard. And if your phone is going to be your primary device that you use for your classwork in this class, then stop by Best Buy and pick up a Bluetooth keyboard. I think they cost around $25. I have one for my phone. I got it on Amazon and I paid about 20 bucks for it, and they are amazing. They pair up to your phone and they give you a reasonably large keyboard that goes to your phone, and it is amazing. You'll never go back to a regular little phone keyboard again. Anyway, if you're going to use your phone for this class, I absolutely recommend that you get a Bluetooth keyboard. It's the cheapest accessory that you will buy that will increase your student success tenfold. Okay, I listed the text as optional. We won't really use the text in this class. A number of students tell me that they do purchase the text because they find that it's a nice reference. I just think that it's an expensive pile of paper that in a few years from now you're going to look back and gawk at what they called technology. Technology is not a kind of a textbook that I believe makes a worthwhile investment. This course is designed such that the materials that we cover in the weekly lectures and in the web projects and such are the text is not really necessary. Alright, so I listed as optional. About the instructor, yeah, about me. Yep, I'm in a new role now. I work in Blackboard support. I've programmed web pages for TCC for a bunch of years, and I even worked at Old Dominion and programmed web pages at Old Dominion University as well. But now I'm in the Blackboard support area, and I love it. I've got over 12 years of state service, and yeah, I've served as webmasters at various departments all through my career, but now I'm in Blackboard, so I'm not really programming web pages anymore. I've been all over the place: Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, and just a bunch of other countries, about 34 other countries, just traveling recreationally. So I've been around the world quite a bit. And the funny thing was, what prompted me to start teaching this class is I was in Cambodia and taught a bunch of elementary school teachers who couldn't speak a lick of English how to use the internet. And yeah, just luckily the Cambodian word for Google is Google, because it was quite a struggle with communication. So I figured if I could teach them how to use the internet, I can certainly teach all of you. So you'll see me a lot with a camera. I am extremely passionate about photography. I love it. I photograph pets. So anyway, I have a 109-year-old house, and it's always falling apart. Assignments and assessments. Let's talk some about the assignments. We have just really a plethora of different types of assignments in this course. Everything from, message boards, where we do a lot of our work, to the web project, which constitutes a fairly large chunk of the points in this course. It adds up to about 647. It's plus or minus, and there's a few things that I still need to implement yet in Gradebook. So if you look in Gradebook right now, the total may not equal that, but it's going to be around about that. You have an opportunity to earn bonus points a few times during the semester that can help bolster your grade. Something definitely very important to me is that I have a zero tolerance for cut and paste. If I give you a question on a forum and I discover that you have cut and paste your answer from any number of different websites, I'm done. I'm not grading it, and I won't grade the rest of whatever you turned in for the rest of the unit either. It's a waste of my time. It's an insult to me, and it's really an insult to yourself. Sometimes we'll turn things in through a program called SafeAssign. Okay, and SafeAssign literally checks every sentence, every phrase of what you've written, and compares it to millions of websites. It is like the Google of catching cheaters. If you cut and paste, SafeAssign will find it and it will catch you. And they will assign everything you turn in a percentage. If your percentage is over 20%, I may not grade it at all. because at that point you have cut and paste too much of your work. But you know, that goes for the big papers. We will use Safe Assign. For your weekly forums and stuff where you turn it in online, we won't use Safe Assign, but if I catch that you've cut and paste from someplace, I'm done. I'm not grading it, period. So, all right, late work policy. You know, you can complete your forums. You can complete them late, but it's -1 point per day late. And after 6 days, you're at -50%. So the points start to degrade rapidly as the assignment gets past due. So you'll want to just keep them. You'll want to keep yourself on time. You know, I realize that with online classes, sometimes you need a little bit more flexibility. So, you know, I do permit you to turn some things in late. A lot of other instructors say, you know, absolutely no. But I do maintain a little bit of flexibility with the discussion forums in particular. You're talking a lot of points for those. And so I do give some flexibility, but I'm not looking at it if it's past 14 days late. There's just no point of me going back to have to pick up pieces. And if you do turn something in late, by the way, it will be graded probably the day before final grades are due. So if you turn something in late, don't expect that you're going to see a grade on that assignment. And I'm telling you that up front because I have too many students in too many different sections of class that to go back and pick up pieces where people turn things in late. I'll let you turn them in late, that's fine, whatever, but I'm coming back to grade them the day before grades are due. So just a word to the wise, you know, if you turn things in late, you know, don't expect to see a grade on that in any timely fashion. So anyway, we talked a bit about the weekly participation quizzes. You know, they appear on most weeks, not all, but most, and they're in the course outline, what weeks they appear, and when they do appear, they appear Sunday, and they continue through Monday at 11:59 p.m. And if they're missed, they're missed. That's all there is to it. But they're only 1 point, so I mean, really, don't get yourself bent about it. If you miss a few of those, it really does not amount to a whole lot. However, if you miss all of them, it has the capability of lowering your grade by about 2 percentage points. So if you were a 100, you would be a 98. And where that can really come into play is if you are on a borderline, say like you're on an 89. If you had logged in and done your participation quizzes, you could have been, you know, that could have tipped the scale up into the A range. So the big time participation quizzes are going to be something you regret. Will be if you're in a borderline situation where you're on the edge, and then you're really going to want to yeah, you'll wish you had done the participation quizzes. So, you know, in the grand scheme, they're not worth a whole lot, but they can be that amount of points that tips you from an 89 to a 90 and gets you a whole grade, letter grade up. So, yeah, don't underestimate them, but at the same time, don't freak out if you miss a couple. We talked about this already, but weeks in this class were on Sunday to Saturday. All of my online classes that I run, the format has always been that way. It is very convenient because then your units that you need to do touch 2 weekends. And I think that that's extremely important because, again, online students, you need a little bit more flexibility in terms of when things are due. So by structuring it Sunday to Saturday, your assignments touch 2 weekends. And so because of that, it really, I think, adds flexibility to the schedule. It's the way I've always done my online schedules. It works well, and students really seem to appreciate that, so we're going to stick with it. Weeks run Sunday to Saturday in this class. So new assignments will appear on Sunday, and they're due on Saturday of the following that following weekend. I don't round anything except your final grade. if, you know, 89.2 is an 89, but a 79.5 rounds up to an 80. So, and that's pretty much, that's pretty standard. It's not really a work at your own pace course. I let you see just about everything on day one, but that's mostly for your planning purposes. You know, if you know there's going to be a week where you're on vacation, then I kind of like you to be able to look ahead and see what we're going to be covering that weekend, you know, or that week, I mean, during the time when you're on vacation or when you're out of town. But it doesn't mean that I'm giving you the green flag to go ahead and just start running ahead and posting things. Things are still due when they're due, but you can at least see what's due ahead of time. Exams. It's going to be a lot of written exams in this class. I do a lot of essay type and analysis kind of questions on the exams. They come directly from the stuff we've covered in the learning units. They don't require trips to campus, and they don't require that Respondus lockdown browser. So I give you some flexibility. In exchange for that flexibility, though, they are open for exact windows of time and cannot be made up. You know, they are open for a week, and you have a week to take it. If you miss it, you know, that's it. You're done. There is no makeup. There is no late turning in of exams. Also, web project. You know, there's we use FTP software, and we build a web project. We learn HTML, and we build a web project. It's broken into several different pieces that are due at various intervals throughout the course, and they constitute, you know, a pretty good amount of your final grade. So you'll want to definitely pay attention to the website project. And I don't mess around with the website project either. Those projects are due on the day that they're due, and your website project files will have a little script on there that writes for me the date the thing was last modified. If you remove that date, then your score is -10 right off the bat, because, you know, it doesn't hide anything, but it just makes grading harder for me. And so since you made grading harder for me, I'm just rewarding you with a -10 right off the bat. So leave the script alone that prints when your project was last updated, because if you delete that script, it's first of all, it's 10 points off. Second of all, it's a clear indicator that you've turned it in late and you've deleted the script because you don't want me to see when you actually turned in the project. So just leave that alone. But the website project is not accepted late. So there's some basic things about netiquette in here, about communicating with people. I'll let you take a look at those on your own time. Something else that I do definitely want to talk about, though, is about posting from phones. An increasing number of you are using your phones to interact with this course, and that's all well and good. I mean, Blackboard's getting pretty good as far as its compatibility with phones and everything, but, you know, definitely get that Bluetooth keyboard if that's going to be your method of connecting with this course. You know, go ahead and spend that $25, and you will forever thank yourself, because it just makes typing so much easier on your phone, and you are capable of putting together coherent thoughts, you know, and you actually use capitals, you know, because there's a shift key instead of that, you know, stupid arrow key that changed. I mean, phone posting is probably one of my biggest pet peeves, but I also recognize that a lot of you are interacting with this course by a phone. But go ahead and spend the $25, or else it's going to cost you a lot of points in this class. You know, because the reason it'll cost you points is because I still hold you responsible for good grammar, spelling, and punctuation. And you know, phones are also notorious for having those wonderful spell checkers that, like, after 3 letters, go ahead and try to, like, put a word in there for you. And it's not even what you meant at all, but you're typing so fast, you're not even really paying attention, and an entire wrong word's been inserted somewhere. And those kind of things, like, you are responsible for your posts making sense, that your thoughts have depth and clarity and quality of development of ideas. You need to show me that you've learned. And posting from phones makes us like scatter thoughted. We start thinking about how can we say what we need to say as quickly as possible, because it's excruciating to type on a little phone keyboard, you know, using our two little thumbs and just blip, 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 blip. Get yourself the keyboard. It'll be the greatest investment you ever made for your online education, because yeah, the bottom line is you are held to the same standard for grading, whether you are posting from a phone or a computer. And if you're posting from a phone, you have a significant disadvantage. So there it is. All right, statement on viruses. My computer caught a virus. That's a shame, but it's never an acceptable excuse. You've got free antivirus software that you can download in Blackboard that'll help keep your computer protected, and you should definitely do that. But I don't accept my computer caught a virus. Technical malfunctions do happen on occasion, and I'll consider them on a case-by-case basis, but I will not entertain them as a regular excuse. Students are expected to exercise reasonable precaution against being victims of technical malfunction, such as typing work outside Blackboard. Let me tell you a true story. I'm the biggest proponent of type your work outside Blackboard. You know, never type anything in Blackboard. And I was in Blackboard the other day, and I was entering some information, and I'm typing it in the field, and spontaneously Blackboard logged me out. And I have no idea why that happened. I was interacting with Blackboard. It wasn't even like I was idle. I was interacting with Blackboard, and it right in the middle of my typing, and I had typed like a solid good paragraph about you know, whatever I was typing. I mean, it was a lot of content, and it was gone. Poof, gone. I logged back into Blackboard, and then yeah, it was totally gone. So this kind of thing will happen to you all of the time. And the more you use Blackboard, the more you will get caught at. You'll get caught with this, where you lose entire swaths of things that you've typed. And the best defense against it is to type things outside Blackboard. And when you're done, you like type them in Word, and you copy them, and then you paste them into Blackboard when you're done. And then you save your document that you made in Word, so that you have a record of what you turned in. It's just good practice. And so yeah, that's kind of what I tell you about that. So managing expectations and tips for success. Yeah, don't ever trust technology. Computers crash, flash drives get lost, files get corrupted, Blackboard times out. You know, cover yourself. Manage your time well. You know, this is a 4-credit course. This is a ton of work. If we met in person, we would meet multiple times per week in a 16-week course. And if you're taking this in a semester that's less than 16 weeks, then hang on, because you're about to get on a roller coaster. Bottom line is, this course is a ton of work. It's 4 credits. And it's not less work than doing it in person. And I say expect to spend about 6.5 hours per week on assignments, and that's a very conservative estimate. You might be well over the 6.5 hour mark. So just so that you're aware of what you're getting into, you're going to need more diligence than with face-to-face, because without a specific day and time, it is so easy to find other things that are more pressing to do. In other words, it's so easy to procrastinate when you're taking a class online, especially when it's going to be one like this that's pushing you a little bit, and you're not comfortable doing what we're doing because you don't feel like you're a programmer, And you will maybe have motivation challenges with this course because it's not a topic that interests you intently. And so because of that, you may develop a problem with self-discipline, and that's going to be something you'll need to be aware of. And we talked about the communication piece. You know, you talk to me, I'll talk to you. Teach us too. You know, everybody knows more than they give themselves credit for when it comes to technology. You know, yes, I'm your instructor, but I'm also a student, and you know, I love to learn. So, you know, that's something that we should all do, is teach and learn. There we go. We've covered most of these other ones. Expect to be challenged. I can't emphasize that enough. This course is going to challenge you. And yeah, we got the backup plan again. Most of the rest of this stuff is administrative stuff that is put in there by the college, and I will let you review the finer points of all of these pieces on your own time and in your own depth. We've covered all of the highlights and taken a quick tour of the online course. Once again, I want to welcome you to ITE130, and I look forward to it being a great semester.